Hello, I'm your host, JD Knoles, and this is Knoles CoolStuff. But we're going to do something a little new today. We're going to do a little thinking, a little reading. So I've been reading on the internet how Chinese manufacturer Huawei beats Apple to become the second largest smartphone maker. All right. So iPhone manufacturer drops to third after Chinese companies split Samsung and Apple for the first time in 7 years. All right, so before, it's always been Samsung, Apple, switching 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Now the Chinese manufacturer, Huawei, has beaten Apple and has become number 2 in the second quarter of sales. But let's really think about it. How many smartphones do Apple release in a year? How many smartphones do Samsung release in a year? And how many smartphones do Huawei release in a year? Now, I'm not talking about just the high tier smartphones, their money maker phones. I mean, in general, how many smartphones do each company produce each year? All right, so we're going to take a look. I'm going to show you a little slideshow. We're going to take a look and think about this issue. This is Knoles CoolStuff. All right, so let's talk about Apple for 2017 and 2018. So we're going to see between when Apple released their first phone in 2017 until they released their new phone later this year in 2018, how many smartphones have they released altogether for all three companies? All right, so Apple in 2017 on September released the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. And then October, they released the iPhone X. So 3 phones altogether until they release their new one in 2018. But let's take a look at Samsung. Samsung, April 2017, they released the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus. Then in June, the Galaxy J5. Then in June again, the Galaxy J7 Max. Then in July, Galaxy J3. In July again, the Galaxy J7 Pro. Then in August, the Galaxy S8 Active. Then in September 2017, the new Galaxy Note 8. Then in October, the Galaxy C7. Then in October again, the Galaxy J2 Pro. Then in January of 2018, they released the Galaxy A8. Then in March, the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. Then in April, the Galaxy J7 Prime 2. Then in April again, the Galaxy J7 Duo. Then in May, the Galaxy A6. Then in May again, the Galaxy J4. Then in May again, the Samsung Galaxy J6. And then in May, the Galaxy S Lite Luxury. Are you keeping up? All right. Then in June of 2018, they released the Galaxy A8 Star or A9, depending on which country you're in. Then the Samsung Galaxy J3 7 Emerge. Then the Galaxy J7 Plus in July. Then in July again, the Galaxy J8. And now recently, in August of 2018, the Galaxy Note 9 from Samsung. So that is a pretty good amount of phones released between 2017 and 2018 before Apple even released their new phone in 2018. So let's take a look at Huawei. Now Huawei has another sub-brand called Honor. So we're going to count both of them. Huawei and Honor. So we're going to do with their flagship thing for Huawei, the Mate 10 series, which was released in November 2017. Then in November again, they released the Mate 10 Pro. Then December, the Honor 7X. Then December again, the Huawei Nova 2S. Still in 2017, in December, they released the Huawei Enjoy 7S. Now in January of 2018, they released the Honor View 10. All right, so that's in 2018. But they also had one more in 2017, which was the Honor 9 Lite. Then in 2018 May, they released the Honor 7C. And then they released a whole bunch of their really budget phones, which is the Y phones. All right, so the Huawei Y9, the Huawei Y7, the Huawei Y7 Prime, the Huawei 7 Pro. So 4 phones released in April. Then in April of 2018, they released Honor 7A. Then in March, Huawei P20 Lite. All right. Then in April, Huawei P20, which was also released with the P20 Pro. Then in May, Huawei Y6. Then in May of 2018, the Honor 10. Then in August of 2018, the Honor Play. And they're still releasing. In August again, they released the Huawei Nova 3. And the Huawei P Smart, which is technically the Nova 3i, which is the light version of the Nova 3. And then Honor released the Honor 9N. And their last phone, since this video, they released in August of 2018, the Honor Note 10. All right, so have you been keeping up? All right, so let's see a grand total from when Apple released their first phone in 2017 until they eventually going to release their new phone in 2018. How many total phones they released between 2017 to 2018 of August? All right, so let's take up the result. Apple, 3 phones. Samsung, 22 phones. Huawei Honor, 23 phones. That's a big difference in amount of phones you produce in a year. Take a look at the numbers again. Apple, 3. Samsung, 22. Huawei Honor, 23. Woo-wee! That's a lot of phones from Samsung and Huawei. Huawei Honor, because you got to take their sub company too, or Honor, because they add that into the money factor. So, yes, Huawei did take over as the second largest smartphone maker this second quarter. But take a point of how many phones they released within a year. And I remember, I'm only taking from when Apple released their phone in 2017 until August of 2018, during that time period only. And you saw how many phones Apple released, 3. All right? The X and the 8s. Samsung released a total of 22 phones between 2017, when they released their flagship phone, the Galaxy S8, until August of 2018, when they released the Galaxy Note 9. Same with Huawei. I took from when they did their flagship phone, which was the Huawei Mate phone, which came out in October of 2017, until August of 2018, when they came out with the Honor Note 10. So, if you release more phones, and you release more cheaper phones to more poor countries, of course, you're going to sell more units of phones. Apple is not going to sell as much, but you got to take a point. That is pretty good of Apple. They've been 1 and 2, and all they've been releasing is maybe 3, maybe 4 phones within a year. So, this isn't JD Knows with Knoles CoolStuff. So, this is a little thing just to make you think and just take a perspective of how many phones certain companies release within a year and how many phones some companies. Remember, Apple has always been that premium type phone where you're supposed to, it's going to cost a little bit of money. All right. Samsung's the same way. Same with Huawei. They do got that premium phones. But then they have the mid-tier phones, Samsung and Huawei. And then they also have the lower budget phones too. All right. So let's do a little thinking before we just read everything and say, wow, they beat Apple. And they did beat Apple in sales. But just think about how many units of smartphones they sell within a year. Same with Samsung and with Apple. Can you imagine if Apple released almost at least 10 to 20 phones, different types of phones within a year? Would that make their brand higher or lower? I don't know. I can't see the future. All right, this is JD Knows. signing off. Hope this made you think a little bit. Until next time.